The Christian woman who was sentenced to death in Sudan for her Christian faith is still stuck in that country. And for an update on Miriam Ibrahim, we turn now to Tina Ramirez with Hardwired, a nonprofit organization with legal contacts in Sudan. Tina, what's the latest on Miriam's status?
Well, as you may have heard, Miriam was released last week, but then she was placed under the U.S. Embassy's control, and another case was filed against her. So until that case has been dealt with, she's still forced to stay within the country. But her and her husband and her children are now safe at the U.S. Embassy until the appeal on the case is being dealt with.
Well, why hasn't she been able to leave, and why is this so complicated?
Well, I think it's a good question that everybody's asking. The charges were dismissed. She was at the airport. She should have just been able to go. Unfortunately, what happened is that the documents she was given by the U.S. Embassy in Khartoum and the South Sudanese government's embassy in Khartoum were travel documents from South Sudan. And so she was traveling outside the country on those documents, and the Sudanese government didn't recognize them. So they've charged her with falsifying documents and with her husband Daniel with abetting it. Even though she didn't have anything to do with it, it was the U.S. Embassy that was responsible for getting her those documents.
Wow.
So,
well, we do know that she was forced, which is horrific, that she was forced to give birth, while shackled in that Sudanese prison.
Yeah.
How's her baby doing?
Well, the interview that she gave last week, which was a miracle that she was even able to give an interview, because I think she's under pretty tight lock and key right now at the embassy, in that she stated that she was worried that her baby's legs weren't developing properly because of the way that she was giving birth. Her doctors had advised the prison officials to let her go and deliver at the hospital, and they didn't allow her to. So she actually was chained in both legs and was not able to give birth in the normal manner. It's really horrific. I'm sure that there are many medical issues that they're going to have to deal with in the future, and we're working to get them that assistance.
Wow. Well, what can CBN's viewers do to help Miriam and her children?
Mm-hmm. Well, there are a few different things that people can do. We believe that really the ultimate issue here is the apostasy law in Sudan that's oppressing so many people, but there are other Christians that are being prosecuted under the apostasy law, which says that if you're a Muslim and you leave your faith, you become a Christian, then you can be put to death. So there are two other cases that we know of in Sudan, and we want to change that law. And the 5 lawyers defending Miriam are trying to change that law as well. They're all Muslim, and yet them and a massive public amount of support is arising in order to change the law. So I think that so that this doesn't happen to anyone else, we need to change the law. It's not just about rescuing one woman out of the country, which must happen. It's about changing the law so that people aren't facing the same kind of oppression under this government. So if your viewers want to, they can go to our website at hardwiredglobal.org, and they can sign a petition where we have to stand with the lawyers and the people of Sudan to change that law. But we also are trying to gain some support for the lawyers. Miriam and her husband were unable to pay them. So there are many Muslim lawyers defending Christians in Sudan, and they don't have support, and their lives are in danger when they do it, because imagine a Muslim defending an apostate. Yes. So that's a second thing. And then the third thing is that a lot of the people protesting at Miriam's trial and her support, and who have been mobilizing the public support against the government in Sudan, which is really where the important change needs to occur, they have been attending trainings that we've been doing on religious freedom. And so these are Muslims and Christians standing together saying that if there's no religious freedom in Sudan, there's no future for the country. So if they want to help us train more people so that more people will stand up in the defense of people accused of apostasy like Miriam, then we would love their support. And I'm sure that when Miriam and Daniel come here, they will need other support, and we can connect your viewers with that as well.
Excellent.
So,
Tina Ramirez, thank you so much for
You're
standing
welcome.
on the front line with this case. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.